Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the HighLevel Experience podcast. I'm super excited to introduce today's guest. He is somebody who has not only mastered the ins and outs of HighLevel, but also turned it into a profitable business platform that's helping local businesses thrive. He's a digital marketing agency founder, a top-tier HighLevel affiliate, and a content creator who's on a mission to debunk myths and share real strategies for using HighLevel to get more clients. Known for his laser focus on keeping things simple and practical, he's a 2024 HighLevel SaaSpreneur, Gold Award Achiever, and Bronze Level Affiliate Award earner, and he's here to talk about everything from avoiding shiny object syndrome to using AI to live an extraordinary life. Please welcome to the show, the GoHighLevel wizard himself, Declan O'Reilly.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, Vit. Thank you for having me on, man.
Declan, really good to have you, man. Look, you've built a reputation as the GoHighLevel wizard, but by cutting through the noise and helping people focus on what really works, right? With HighLevel. If you could share, like, one fundamental truth or insight about HighLevel that most users overlook or get wrong, what would it be?
That's a great question. I always say that you have to learn, and I have a video I actually just put out on this, I think is really going to help a lot of people. They have to learn the building blocks of HighLevel first. And I personally believe that's contacts. Understand it, because once you understand how contacts work in HighLevel, it connects to literally everything else. Once you have a list, once you have people coming in, every other core function is tied to that. And it's kind of this trickle down effect. And I see people coming in, learning automations before they even know, what a pipeline is, or, you know what I mean? Like they're doing it the wrong way. So I would say with HighLevel, the first thing is just starting with the basics if you're new, and that would be mastering how contacts work in general. And again, I have a full video on this, but understanding that one part will connect to every other step, and it will save you so much time. You won't have to be running around like a chicken with your head cut off trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I totally agree with you. And this goes the same for the underlying clients that we all, help businesses, right? Because they're all like, cool. You're going to set up all these automations and then just going to run my business, like they're going to help grow my business for me. Like, no, it's still a CRM and you need to do, you need to do your due diligence. Like you need to log in every day and go through your CRM, go through the contacts. There's nothing better than overview through pipelines. So look at opportunities and look at anything that you've missed, right?
Yeah. I just say go through any of that basic stuff, and from there, everything else connects. So
yeah. So how long you been HighLeveler?
It's actually really funny. I played with HighLevel for a very long time, and I had it for my old agency, probably starting back in 2019. But I think about 9 to 10 months ago, I got another account to do all of the stuff I'm doing now. So getting the Gold Award, all that stuff happened on that account. Now, I do have an agency that's done really well, but it was with just law firms, and it was just smaller. So just have like a couple big, retaining clients. Again, about 7 big clients. And that's what I did for a long time. Then after, a bit of time, I know HighLevel really well. I got to start helping people do this. And people just kept asking me. And then that's when just a little bit ago, I started YouTube, and I've been able to move relatively fast. But again, I had prior experience with that and local SEO and marketing. So it kind of it took off pretty fast.
Nice. And so do you still run your agency as well, or are you just a full affiliate now?
I do. And it's kind of on like autopilot at this point. I have a couple of big clients. I've automated a lot of their stuff. Right now, though, which is actually interesting, is one of the big things that I am pushing outside of the affiliates. And I know focus is everything, and I promise this isn't a shiny object. This is just to stay. I actually own a hair salon in Northern Virginia, and I'm working on really building that up because I really believe that agencies are awesome, but I also believe that if you know how to do stuff for service-based businesses, you want to do it too. Because that's where you can sell those for a lot of money. And that's like a real tangible asset. With agencies, I mean, with AI, and it just goes up and down and you can never predict it. So that's kind of my long-term play, is building out this hair salon and then selling it down the road and, 10, 15 years down the road. But agency, yeah, it's doing awesome.
That's actually really interesting because I haven't heard anybody talking about that, but I did have that thought myself. It's like, mate, we've got this amazing software. We've got all this know-how. We run these agencies. We help these other businesses, and you essentially have the springboard to really launch your own business, local business, really, really efficiently, and then just put somebody in to run it for you. That's a whole another, like us talking about like all the different models that can be done with HighLevel. this is the one that has not been talked about, or I haven't heard anybody talking about.
Well,
Everybody goes like affiliate, or I'm an agency, or I'm a SaaS, but like, how about also, you know,
well, you know what's funny that, and this is this thing that's blown my mind is that like I mean, you can sell an agency, you can sell a coaching company, but those don't necessarily compound over time. They don't because it's all about running ads, getting caught. Like it does, but because of the way tech advances, it's a trickier thing to sell. With a hair salon, I have a loyal customer base of actual people in a geographic area near Washington D.C. that will always come back, and then I can just grow that out. And I've already had tremendous success. And in my opinion, I think that once you understand how business systems work and marketing works, you have a golden ticket to immediately go out and just crush it with a service-based business. Because I've seen, and I've done marketing for service-based businesses, but the growth I have seen from having something that is mine that I actually care about, it's insane. It's also really fun. And I believe wholeheartedly that with the way AI keeps getting better and better and better, not saying marketing is going away, it's always going to be there, but that role is going to change. Hair salon, unless there's robots doing people's hair, which is so far down the road, you know what I mean? I mean, it's come on, that's so far down the road.
yeah,
It's very relevant. I mean, I think it's incredible. I really,
yeah.
it's
I mean,
my
that's
one.
that is also good. Yeah, because I mean, we don't know how far the AI is going to impact our own industry, what we do, right? We could get to a point where in a year time, even it just becomes so commoditized and so easy to implement that businesses won't even need us. They just, do their thing themselves.
Exactly.
But what you will not be able to replace that easily are human labor based sort of services, right? Tradies, that's what we call them in Australia, like plumbers, bricklayers, right? All that. That's not going to go away anytime soon. Cooks, chefs, people who do in hospitality, work in hospitality, and hairdressers, all that, cosmetics, all that stuff. So that's really good. And there are a lot of people who are passionate about that trade, about that skill set. They just want to cut hair. They just want to be
Yeah.
hairstylist, right?
Oh yeah.
They don't necessarily want to learn the business or how to
Right.
market. We know all this stuff. So actually, yeah. So you could launch your own a barbershop, and then just give opportunities to local barbers to have a job, or get them to pay. I think one of my mates, he's got it dialed in. He's got 10 seats in his barbershop, and all the individual barbers, they just pay a rent a month for the
Mhm.
seat. So they've got their own stake. So he covers all his rent from that, and he still has an extra left over, and then he's got his own customers, so he's smiling. But you could totally do it the other way, where you're not in there at all day to day. You got them, they run their own business, and then you just help drive more business for them.
Well, what's crazy too, though, and this is like what really blew my mind when getting into this is that I was talking to the owners of some of the biggest hair salons in all of Virginia. I mean, I'm talking big. And you know what's crazy, V? Is they literally had nothing set up. It was so ghetto. They had nothing. They didn't have systems. They had no AI. They had no automations, and they were crushing. So I was like, I can take the same talent that I know because I got a whole Rolodex of people I know in this industry, and I can take systems and apply it. It's game over. And I mean, you can look up my Google business profile. I'm already ranked in the top 3 in like an entire near DC. And then we're going against businesses that have been around for decades. And it just shows you that like there's all these big businesses that suck. I mean, they're great. Don't get me wrong, but they don't have the system. So if you can take the system and plug it into the passionate people, I mean, I'm just starting to see it. It's mind blowing.
Sky's
It's
the
mind
limit, yeah.
blowing.
And then when you start talking about, growing this at scale, turning it into a franchise, I mean, it's
Yeah.
so easy to
Oh,
systemize this. Once you dial
so
it in one location, you can just replicate, right? What got you into like this? Why in particular like hairdressing salons? Is like a particular passion of yours? Have you been like working in a trade or?
so one of my old girlfriends was a hairdresser, and I basically met all of these people in that industry. And what ended up happening is that I found all these different people. I found the current person that I have working there with her friends. I found her through these connections, and I basically just started meeting all of these people. And I didn't think much of it. But what ended up happening is I started to do really well with agency, affiliate. I started really dialing in everything. And I was looking towards service-based businesses. And what's crazy is I was having a talk with some of the lower hairstylists at the salon, and they were making a lot of money. I mean, I'm talking 19, 20-year-olds making over 200 grand a year. Like
Yep.
like not like it was very unusual for a position, and they weren't working that much. I mean, they were working a lot, but I basically just was like, this is really interesting. So I spent a bunch of time studying, looking into this, like what's going on. This is pretty cool. And from there, I had all these connections. I talked to some people. I said, listen, I know how to market. I know how to build systems. Let's try this out. And within 3 months, they were making more money than they ever made.
So
And
what are we talking about?
just
Appointment bookings, reminders,
first thing,
increase.
first thing, local SEO. Gotta have the Google business profile. That is all traffic. And that's something that actually, which is really interesting. I'm gonna give a little golden nugget here that I know a lot of people are not saying is that, you know, how when you're on Google, it has the AI now is answering questions.
Yeah, right. Yep.
It doesn't do that for local service-based businesses because it's the only thing because it can't be biased. It can't pull because it has to go off the Google business profile. That's something I realized that's not going to go away for a while because it's ranking an actual business, not an article that someone SEO optimized. So that that first thing was the thing I was like, okay, that's what I got to dial in. So focusing on that. And then from there, AI chatbots, automations, and social media. That's all you need. A lot of the other stuff you don't need. You don't need funnels, website, you can have basic, but the social media and the chatbot is mind blowing.
Interesting. So I thought you'd have calendars in there as well for like
Oh, yes,
appointments
correct.
and
Sorry. Oh, bro. Yes, sorry. Yes, calendars. Part of the chatbot system. Yes, calendars.
yeah. So the chatbot books them in. Yeah, that's smart. And what's your take on taking? Because I've got a few mates who do this, and sometimes they go to booking, and then the person doesn't show up for the for the what do you call it, for the cut, for the styling. What's your take on taking deposits?
I have people pay late fees.
Okay.
And what I do is I have their card. That's what I think is best. Get their card online or have their card on file if you can. And then if they don't come, hit them with a late fee and just enforce it. Be like, yo, we're charging your ass if you don't do this. Because there are
Yeah.
some people that are so sloppy. You know what I mean? They're hungry. They don't show up. So it's like, that's what I personally like to do. And if someone doesn't show up, it's like, well, you're lost. But at that point, at least we make up, some of the money. It can be percentage or the whole thing. So that's
Yeah. Yeah. The point about how much they earn, it's very interesting. I didn't know that either when I spoke to my mate, and he told me. And that's like my mate is in Czech Republic, and like crazy money there is like twice the amount of what like people normally earn. And he's like, yeah, but the secret is the money is in like colors and like for women, looking after women, not just the
smart man.
barbershops. Yeah, like you can trim the beard and cut the hair for the guy, but the real money is with women because they pay for the keratin and all those different things.
Oh yeah,
That's
he's
where it's at.
smart. He's smart. Yeah, the women because they also they want to look good all the time. A lot of guys are just like whatever, and
Yeah.
there's so many different things you can do too. I mean, color, everything. I mean, that's like
Yeah,
infinite upsells.
extension.
Yeah, extensions, Brazilian blowout. It's crazy how much people will pay. People will
Oh,
pay close like $500-$600 for getting their hair done. It's like
it's nuts.
why? But I ain't complaining.
Yeah. So aside from this niche, what other niches have you trying to get into? And I mean, you mentioned the law one, so legal firms, so law firms. So aside from those two, have you tried any other niches?
I've tried back when I first got started way back in the day. I think I did something for almost everyone. I tried everything and I was kind of, jack of all trades, master of none, wasn't really good at that much. But I think that when it comes to niching down, this is what I tell all my students, especially in the beginning. I think it's very important not to niche down. And I know there's people will say a million different things, but the reason being is I think it's best for most people just to know what the hell is going on and just to get clients as fast as possible. Because if
Mhm.
you do that, A, you'll learn how to use HighLevel. B, you'll pay down your ignorance tax and you'll learn these hard lessons that you need to know. And it's much harder if I'm just going after plumbers to find clients. If you go after everyone, you can find clients fast. And from there, I think it's just much better to hit everyone. And then, from the niches you like, slowly narrow and niche down.
Yeah,
Obviously, if you're running ads, you can't do that. But
yeah. I think the counter argument to that would be like that if you do focus on a niche, then if you dial in your marketing, then it's going to be a lot more cost effective. But on the
correct.
same token, and also the fulfillment definitely would be more cost effective, right? Because you can snapshot it out and everything. But on the same token, what you're saying is at the beginning, I mean, you definitely need to get money in as soon as possible because that's the bloodline of any business, have a cash flow. And you could totally go to BNI, you could go to local chamber of commerce meetings, those big groups, and there's lots of different businesses. So that whole, cost of marketing goes goes down a drain on that front if you do in person and meetups, because that's effective just the same, and you're just pitching to people, and then yeah, you can help them that way and find clients that way for sure.
Yeah, I think niching down is essential when you're running ads. I just think a lot of people that get into this stuff don't have very much money in the beginning. Like, the random people you see online, like I'm trying to make money. I think
Hmm.
for them, it's like running ads or doing something. It's too many skills, and they'll end up burning out all their money and then
Yeah,
say this never works. Where if
yeah,
they can just get one little client and go, I made money, it's real then. You know what I mean? And then from there,
gives you confidence grows a little bit,
oh yeah,
becomes a real thing, real opportunity, and you go from there. 100%. So yes, guys, like, I mean, there you go. I mean, that's two ways to look at it. I mean, both options work. Depends on what's your background, what's your starting point, right? If you go, I think like if you work in a particular industry and you've got like real experience, know-how, experience in that industry. Like for me, it was fitness. I've been a personal trainer for 6 years. I manage gyms. I run boot camps, group training sessions, and all that. So naturally, for me, makes perfect sense to go niche in that industry because
yeah.
I can relate. I know the ins and outs. I've gone through so many different roles as well, so I've got a broad experience. So I can definitely tap into that. But if I didn't work in that industry for that many years, yeah, for me it would definitely make more sense to go after everybody, and then after a while then pick my journey. But so there you go. I mean, it's almost like a diagram. It's like, hey, go like, have you
Yeah,
worked in a
yeah.
particular industry? Yes, no. If yes, trying to go more niche.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
no, you know what I mean. So yeah, it's never really like like a blueprint. It's circumstantial.
Well, I
Um,
gotta ask you real quick. I mean, I gotta know this.
yeah,
Your accent sounds South African.
I've been told that. Yeah, but it's not.
Really? Are you not? Are you actually just Australian?
I'm a Czech born.
Oh, you're from Czech Republic. Wait. So you're Czech? Are you Czech Republic or Australian? Or you moved there?
I'm Czech. I was born in Czech Republic. When I
Uh,
was 19, I moved to Scotland. So I lived there for 3 years. Let's get a wee bit of Scottish in
yeah,
there, and then
yeah. I was gonna say. I swear, I just heard a Scottish accent.
yeah, and then since 2010, I've been living in Australia. So that's where the Australian accent is coming through as well. But yeah, it's a bit of a mumbo jumbo.
That's cool. No, it sounds cool. I was like, what is this accent? It's so unique. It sounds South African, but I guess it's what you just said. So it's not that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, mate. I want to talk to you about being an affiliate. Let's talk about that because that is what you focus on most right now. You've earned some awards recently. Where do we start? What would we like to share about this journey of being an affiliate? What's something that many people don't know or might not know about being an affiliate?
I'm trying to think should I talk about something that people that become affiliates should do, or should I talk about what it's like to have affiliates under me? Because
Let's talk about what it's like. Yeah, sell the picture first, and then we'll talk about the journey.
well, no, I just there's something I want to address. 'Cause I think it's really important. Is that
Yeah.
a lot of people constantly are jumping affiliates. I mean,
Mhm.
everyone knows this. Not everyone, but the thing that I've realized though that's like, and I'm not angry at them. I just feel bad for them because they never get anywhere. And you've seen like there'll be people that will literally go and do a free trial on a free trial on someone else's, and they
Mm.
just do free trial, but they never make any money.
Yeah, right.
And it's funny to see because it's like to them, like, oh, we're gaming the system. Yeah, like look how clever I am. But they're still broke. Like I had this guy, I'm gonna say his name because I've had a lot of them, but this one guy who he was just shitting on this other a big affiliate. This big, I'm not gonna say his name, but you definitely
Yeah, yeah.
know. A big affiliate saying how bad he was, blah, blah, blah. I was like, interesting, okay. And he came to me and he's an older guy from England. Okay. And he basically was just going on about, how bad he was, whatever. Gets in, long story short, he moves away from my affiliate later for whatever reason. But I reached out to him and I was like, bro, like you have 0 clients. Like, I'm just curious. Like what the rationale doesn't make sense because you shit on this other guy, you're shitting on me. Like, I'm just curious. And you get this guy has 0 clients. Okay. He told me, he was like, you know what? I already know all this stuff in your training. And I got on a call and he said that to me again. And I literally told him, I was like, if you know it, then why aren't you doing it? Like, Like,
Mhm.
is that not like? But people do this kind of shit all the time. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but I see this so much. People will tell me, "I already know that."
Yeah.
What's knowledge is useless unless you apply it. Like what? But people will think that they'll say shit like that. And I think for people, whoever you are as an affiliate, whoever it is, it's best to just try as hard as you can with one thing until it works. Because otherwise, you'll build half-built bridges and you'll jump from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing and just go all over the place. And it's not frustration at them. It's like I feel bad for them because it'll be the same person, and I'll look on social media and they still have nothing, and they spend years doing this, and they don't have any money. It's just they waste their time.
I wonder what it is, whether they're like continue to look for that secret like magic solution that's gonna suddenly make them money. It's like, I mean, who did I speak? I spoke to my previous guest, the sorry guys, Rahul. Rahul. I spoke to Rahul Alim, and we talked about it. You know, at the end of the day, to be successful in business, there's nothing like super elegant about it. At the end of the day, yes, there's strategies and tactics that better or worse, but there's one fundamental thing that will always be there, and that's you just got to do the miles. You just got to do the day
Yeah.
to day. You just got to do the boring stuff. You know,
Amen. Amen. I
so
say that so much.
that's where it's at. And so if you're not passionate about the opportunity, what you can develop or you can create, if you're not passionate about that, then then yeah, I mean the day to day will just be like mundane, and you would burn out after a while. But you got to do it for the right reasons. I think that's the end of the important thing. So otherwise, just get a job,
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly. Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You can have really amazing careers. You could be you could be cutting hairs. You could be styling hairs, right? And make a lot of money that way. So, all right. So, okay. So that was a bit of a rant there.
I forgive me. Forgive me. My
No,
apologies.
no, that's good, man. That's good. I mean, it's a. I'm always like looking for topics and new angles, so that's cool. So at the recent Level Up Summit when you were in Dallas, you got 2 awards.
I technically got 3, but I
Okay.
didn't get 2. So I got the SaaSpreneur Gold and the Bronze Affiliate, but I actually won the Silver Affiliate. But it was 3 days past the cutting point, which
Okay.
was
Yeah.
2 weeks before the event. So
Yeah.
by their guidelines, no, I didn't win it, but it was before we had the event. So I I won 3 of them. But
Yeah, look, and then they have a bit of a structure to it as well. Like for the SaaSpreneurs, I think another friend of mine, she was already like way above the next year, but they wouldn't give her the next year price. They have to like give you that one, and then you have to come back next year for the keeps you in a loop to come back for the
it's
next
smart. So it's
level up.
smart. They're businessmen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So break it down for the guys listening. What are the T's? Like, what are the criteria to be a gold SaaSpreneur and bronze affiliate? What are the what do you need to hit?
So I know for the SaaS Gold, it's over 100 SaaS enabled sub accounts on GoHighLevel.
Paying sub accounts.
Yes, that's what I'm not 100% sure about the bronze because they switched it. It used to be $50,000, and then it was 30, and then I think it was 10, and right now I'm not actually sure. I have to check. So it's changed, and I know that because one of my good friends, as you know, Don Baptiste, he was
Right.
telling me how they switched it entirely. So I'm actually not sure about that because again, I wasn't even sure I won it until they were like, "Oh, dude, you won it a few weeks ago." I knew I won the gold, but yeah, that's I have to check, but it's somewhere in that 15-20,000 something like.
Right. But you actually have to fill up some forms. It doesn't just happen automatically, right? You have to go online and fill up a form.
Yeah, they look at your account. It has an automatic dash, and if you hit that number of sub accounts or whatever, it'll send you an email like, "Oh my gosh, you won this." But then you have to fill out a form. You have to talk to your manager. Like, it's a process. It's not just like you can just be like, "Oh, cool, I won it." Like, there's a lot of shit you have to go. Then you have to show up to get it, and you only can get it if you're there. Like, it's a lot of stuff, man.
Right. Otherwise, you have to pay for them to ship it over or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so over 100 sub accounts. So well done. That's kudos to you. That's with the other agent, the Matrimon, is it called?
So this was for what I'm doing now, but I did have, I'm trying to think how many sub accounts I had with that. I actually didn't have that many. It was just bigger. It was a lot big. The clients
Bigger
were much
clients.
bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not small SaaS retainers. It was like marketing retainers. But right now I have to check again, but I know that I should be at the pace I'm at by January, December, March, April, probably around May or June. I should get that SaaS diamond because I'm moving
Excellent.
pretty quick.
I was talking 500, 250. What's
To
that one?
500, 500.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Excellent.
then hopefully the gold affiliate.
And so that's selling SaaS, but through a different thing, not matrimony, another one that you got.
Yep.
All right, excellent. All right, let's talk about the affiliate one. How do you get to bronze
Like, how did I, or just how do people in general?
in general, and then how did you do it?
So I actually am really new to the YouTube game. Like, if you look at my channel, I think I started actually posting videos 5 months ago, maybe 6 months. Very new to it. I've done really well, and usually I've gotten a lot of affiliates from there. But my primary bread and butter is Facebook. I still think Facebook is a holy grail of all social media. It's got the most people, the most money, it's got everything. And it also owns WhatsApp, it owns Instagram. I mean, it's everything. It's the almighty god of social media. So I personally believe in hitting Facebook. And again, I'm not going to get too in depth on how I do it because it's literally we'll be on here for hours because there's so many different things I've tried. I personally think Facebook's one of the best places to get loyal affiliates too. Facebook's got some of the thing about YouTube, and it's got great people again, because plenty of people have gotten most of their people from YouTube. So it obviously is amazing. But I've realized in my experience that people, affiliates and SaaS people that come from YouTube, not always, but tend to be more cursed with shiny object syndrome. People on Facebook tend to be like, oh my gosh, Declan, I found you. I'll just forever be your apostle. That's how it goes. You know what I mean? They'll go through the thick and thin. They're tougher. A lot of people on YouTube, but not always, because I'm generalizing, but the trend is more people that are like, I kind of want to look around, window shoppers. I kind of want to try this, try that. So to get to that point, I use a lot of Facebook. I know I'm giving you really long answers. I'm going to answer that one question.
Yeah. So Facebook is your jam. Now
YouTube is picking up though. It's picking up a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. So what made you want to because there's always hey, you should. It's always more you focus, the better the outcome, right? So if you already got SaaS going, if you just go all in on SaaS, you could grow it maybe twice as fast, or I don't know, who knows, right? So you're doing both. You kind of spreading yourself a little bit there with your focus. What made you decide to go down that path?
Going for both SaaS and affiliate. So that's a really good question. I'm trying to think of a good answer. That's not too.
The obvious one is obviously opportunity.
So technically, I started with SaaS, and the way it kind of worked in it, and I should dial it in a little more, but I basically started creating GoHighLevel videos for all my students. Because before I was using HighLevel and having them use it, but I was also showing them use other softwares. I kind of moved on to HighLevel. So what it kind of became was I started just putting out HighLevel videos for them. And then everyone kept telling me you need a YouTube channel. So then I just started taking those videos and putting them on YouTube. And that's why people love the videos so much, is because it's literally just unadulterated value. I give away everything. I mean, my SEO videos are literally, you have to pay people like $2, $3K to get that kind of info. I mean, from a course, it's everything on my channel. So that's how it started. And then from there, I just started saying, hey, you want to be my affiliate? And it picked up. And then people from Facebook too. But you're totally correct. I do need to get focused on that. It just naturally happened like that. So then I kind of
yeah, I mean, if the opportunity already presents itself to you, why wouldn't you do it, right? What strategies have you found most effective for agencies looking to package HighLevel with their own services?
I think, and this is what I teach all my students, focus on becoming the house. It's the best thing you can do. I see this time and time again. It's why people struggle so much to be agency owners. That is that they come in and they're like, I'm just going to offer reputation management. You can have a front end offer, but in reality, you need to be getting their entire business on GoHighLevel. Otherwise, if your reputation management doesn't work or your database reactivation doesn't work, they leave. If you run everything, their payment processors, their contacts, their automations, their chatbots, you own their phone number, you control everything on the back end, they're not going to leave you. Because if they do, they'll die. They'll bleed out. It's like taking an arrow out of you. It's plugging the hole. They'll bleed out if you take it out. So you have to have that. And again, that's what I teach everyone in my course. Strategic ways in my community. Get people entirely on your platform. Have them everything, the whole 9 yards. And it's funny because Alex Ramosi has a saying, I guess he didn't create this, but give an offer, give away an offer so good that people feel stupid saying no. Well, I came up one, which is give a service so good that if you leave, people will kill themselves. Now, I know that's very dramatic, but it paints the picture.
Yeah, I'm gonna soften it down a little, but it's basically how sticky can you make it? Like, imagine, like, I got those things and you put it on the ceiling, they hang down. It's for the
Yep.
flies and they stick to it. If it's not sticky enough, the fly just kind of sticks by a leg, and then it'll like if it works hard enough, it'll fly off. So you definitely want to indoctrinate your business on using all the different tools, and especially the payment processes. That one's
Oh
really
yeah.
like you're gonna be relying on that. So on the same token, though, you need to start with like one thing because you can't just go pitch
Correct.
businesses like the
Correct.
whole enchilada is just going to be super overwhelming. So if you were to pitch one thing, you may have mentioned already, what do you recommend like being like really good? And this gets us into like talking about offers as well, I guess.
Great question. I promise I'll keep it short because I actually created a video on this. I actually break it down into two different categories: new businesses and established businesses. Because if you just have a regular offer, and you can go for the mass, hit everybody, but oftentimes you'll misdiagnose the person where if you just have the same offer when you're first starting out, but you have a different one for if they're new or established, it's a lot easier. So, for example, a new business that's first starting out, I always recommend if they're, brand spanking new and they're a service-based business, local SEO, which is reputation management mixed in, and a website will get the leads flowing. It's easy to do. It gets the leads flowing. It's very simple. I recommend that. And they're kind of branch into one. And then from there, you can add other things, but it's an easy sell. It's relatively sticky and it provides a lot of value up front. If you are an established business, unless they have a direct problem, I just recommend getting a list from them as soon as possible. That's all I do. Because if you can get a list, you can basically run covert services underneath one service. So you get a list, you can run database reactivation. Okay. You can basically set up any other automation to hit the people in the list. Okay. You could do stuff with AI chat. I mean, so much stuff can happen with a list, and it's the easiest to start with. It also gets them the most bang for their buck. Because if you're like, hey man, we're going to do local SEO for you, and then you run some database reactivation and some other things, it makes it look better. And again,
Yeah.
established businesses may already have that. So that's just what I would recommend because it's the easiest and the fastest to get results with in both categories.
Low hanging fruit. Yeah. With the non-established businesses, what I would also add to that, so like website 100% and local, like setting up the Google My Business
Mhm.
profile. Actually, it's called, what is it called now?
Google Business Profile.
Google Business Profile. Yeah. What I would add to that is if they're very new, then they probably also don't have their branding established. So I would also look at, and this is a really good one, HighLevel, sponsor of this podcast as well, full disclosure, has this really amazing functionality that allows you to create your brand. So it's an AI based. You just fill in all the questions, you answer all the questions, and it'll set up your brand and identity. Then from the brand identity, you're going to then set up, what are your services that you sell, what your products, and then you're going to create a products, your brand products identity. And then it's actually going to create different avatars, and it's going to create a whole thing for you that'll be dialed in around your business. And, for small business owners, I don't know about you, but businesses that I work with way back, doing WordPress websites or whatnot, getting the client to provide you content is one of the most like painful experiences you can ever have.
Yes.
Always takes time. They drag on. And essentially the problem is that you're asking them for something that they're not experts in. So at the end of the day, then they might like write something up and it's kind of shit. So this solves the problem because they just follow the bouncy ball. It solves the problem of you not having to write up stuff custom for them either. So it's more scalable. And then you can actually package it in to your HighLevel subscription or have it as an upsell. And you just have a custom menu link and then they just use it. And then once they've got their brand identity set up, that's like the knowledge base for anything else they need the AI to generate, whether it be website content or marketing, strategy, marketing plan, whatever. So it's what's beautiful about that is then you can have your intro like a lead funnel or like an onboarding funnel for new businesses where you say, and you could run it as a webinar, you could run it as a challenge, or also like a business boot camp, 21-day business boot camp for the new, starting businesses. And everybody will be able to set up their own brand and they're going to feel good about themselves because like there's something magical. Like once you establish a logo and you've got your brand identity and you get your tagline, your slogan, your
Yeah.
description,
Oh,
your
yeah.
products, and
Yeah.
all the wording, it becomes more real. like any business that I've always started was like, that was like always the first thing I would do. It's like set
That's
up my
smart.
logo, and because then it becomes real.
What was it called? The software?
Hey Levi.
Hey Levi?
Yeah, yeah. So it's a company that they've been bought out by Extendly. So guys, if you're listening, by the way, if you want to look into this, just head over to highlevelexperience.com/sponsors, where you can learn about all our amazing sponsors, and Hey Levi is one of them. So definitely, I recommend it. And they've got subscription options. They've got like a regular subscription just for you, for your business, but they've got a wide label option. So you can fully wide label it as your own thing. And now, like I say, new businesses, you definitely need a website, but you also need your brand identity. You don't have it? Okay, no worries. You got two options. You can pay us this amount of money and we'll set it all up. You can still use Hey Levi to do that. Or you can pay extra for the subscription that will manage all like that will be you'll be able to use to create it yourself. Easy.
Interesting. Really interesting. Yeah, that would help a lot because getting stuff from clients is terrible.
Yeah. Well, there's really like two. Like I know like there's also Formwise, and that's also a maybe good alternative. I don't know if they've got it dialed in on the branding side of things, but basically, I mean, use ChatGPT, right? You probably already you have custom agents that you've set up and whatnot, but you still need to do prompting every time you need to create something, or you can have like one of those initial 3 buttons there that you've set up, but then you still need to prompt it to do what you need to do. What the guys at Formwise did is it's more like a form based and it's prompt chaining. So you've got prompt, but you only do the first bit. So you prompt chain basically into bigger projects, and you can then actually integrate into websites. So you essentially on the front end, you might have a lead magnet for the customer to just fill in a couple of things, and then in the back end, it just populates all the content into a demo website, and they can have a look at it in a split seconds, and that can you know what I mean? So now we're getting into like the nerdy stuff and the shiny syndrome stuff a little bit, I guess, but I mean, we're all a bit of nerds there.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, okay, so we kind of talked about that. Let's talk about automations.
Do it.
What practices, when it comes to automations, have you implemented within your agency that help ensure that your clients see consistent value and stick around long term?
So for like service-based businesses and stuff?
Yep.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So for me, automations like database reactivation and booking, calendar setting, like simple stuff like that. But I like to try to automate things that are built into marketing services. So like, for example, reputation management. Automating sending review requests can be tricky because the API key or whatever you want to call it through Google only gives you limited data. So it sometimes doesn't tag them. But if you can properly have triggers across all of GoHighLevel for any time someone submits a review, to tag them, to send review, the whole 9 yards, and it does take some time to get it properly dialed in. Again, for service-based businesses, I think that's incredibly valuable because that's something that takes so much time to do. And again, and I'm not even an automations expert. I'll say it right now. I'm not. I know the basics. I know people are create crazy stuff. I just know and stick with the basics, database reactivation, that simple stuff. But local SEO, if you can automate that, it's game over, man. Because if you can be sending review requests while having the AI in GoHighLevel reply to the reviews while ranking that Google business profile, it's such a valuable service because that's the kind of thing where they get so many leads from them. So many leads. It's like running. It's crazy. So that's what I would say. I mean, how about you?
I mean, for me, so I mean, I've got this thing called the profit roadmap, which I developed, which is basically looking at generation of leads for businesses from the back to front. So instead of saying, hey, we're going to run Facebook ads to help you generate leads, it's like that's like the very last thing. The very first thing that we focus is on reputation of a business. So because if you don't have a finger on the pulse and you don't know what your customers are feeling about your business, you don't know who you can ask for referrals, right?
Yep.
And you don't know who you can ask for a Google review, right? So if you, and it's also a matter of a leaky bucket, because if you don't have a great reputation, and you may not know, some people are not like, they not talk about it, but they might be with you and then they leave quietly because, so you definitely want to like manage that. And so if you can manage that, then you're going to retain more customers. And if you can have a system around that, then only then it makes sense to bring in like new leads that you pay for or whatnot, because it's not a leaky bucket now. You're actually building the thing, filling it up. So yeah, so the profit roadmap is basically like a modular thing. We've got a module called reputation management system, and it's basically what you said. It
And you
automates the review requests when the review request comes in, and it's done in a way where, you know, it it's done in a way as much as possible to not go against the gating policy of
yeah,
Google.
yeah,
Right?
everyone's taught. Everyone tries to push that. There's so many people, you'd be surprised, that are like, give them a gift card.
Oh yeah, monetize it. Yeah. Now you gotta be
Right.
careful with that stuff, because if we know that local SEO is like really, really important, especially for service-based businesses. I mean, if you lose the ability for somebody to find you by searching barbershop near me, if you lose that, that's gonna affect your
Oh,
business big time.
so
All right.
much.
And guess what? If you go against, gating policy of Google, they can, I think in one of the terms and conditions, they can shut down your profile.
Oh yeah. Oh
Right.
yeah.
So that's an important thing. But yeah, so basically this way it's done. I got the idea of like the presentation of it is always going from a low effort to high effort. So what's like a low effort for somebody to give you a feedback is to make a click. All right. So when I went to IKEA last time, when I was leaving IKEA, at the exit, you've got this little stand, and there's three faces on it, like a happy face, the yellow face like in between, and then angry red face. So when
Yeah.
you're leaving, you've just had your shopping experience. You just hit one of those buttons. It's like boom, that's it.
Really? I
Right?
didn't know they had that. I never go
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. So you don't have much context, but at least you got something to get a gauge. You got a bit of a finger on the pulse now. You can gauge what's happening with the customers. And now what I've done with that is, so I've got it set up so there's the emojis are like in an email, and behind each image is it's a triggering. That's how you track it, or you do it through an SMS like reply 1, reply 2, reply 3, right? Based on what they reply, it then takes them to a funnel page where they can fill up information for more details. Now, you're going to lose a lot of people there. Not everybody will fill up that form, but that small amount of people that will do, that's still very, very, very valuable, because that's a constructive, more detailed feedback.
Oh yeah.
Now, once they submit that form, it takes them to either a thank you page. Thank you for submitting. Say if they're like a shit experience, and then they write it down. That's good. I mean, if it's genuine feedback and it's not just them spewing their own personal internal, like, whatever. Some people do that. But if it's actually, it makes sense to act on it, then that's very valuable for the business owner, right? You read it and you can go like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna this, you know what? Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, let's improve this bit and this bit, and then you can actually go back to the customer and say, hey, we've actually acted on your feedback and we've done it and we've changed it. So thank you so much. And now you've created a positive experience for that customer. So then the likelihood of them staying is now much higher. So you get helps you. It's a little secret little tactic that helps you recuperate that customer. So you would
Smart.
have you
Yeah.
would you would have lost them. Now you've kept them. How easy was that? As opposed to trying to generate a brand new customer. So, the goal should be always like turn angry customers into your evangelists. You
Yeah.
know, that's like a it's like a power weapon, a power skill. And then if they said that that feedback was amazing, they've write it down, then it takes them to a different page where they basically it says like, hey, so here's what you wrote, just copy this and click this button and then submit it on Google. I really appreciate doing that. And there's other buttons like, share on socials, and it creates a little graphic and whatnot. But the way overcoming the gating thing is on the average and the negative side, you still have an ability for them to click to submit a review, but it's below the fold. It's still visible. I think the rule is that the argument there is that you can still say, hey, we don't hide it. We still have a mechanism for people if they wanted to do that. So
Yeah. Well, it also looks
um,
more real. And not everyone's going to be a fan. It's going to be someone that had a bad experience. As long as you have I mean, what does Grant Cardone say? Don't worry about the bad reviews. Just get a lot of good reviews.
I mean, yeah, yeah. But unfortunately, what's also true is that even just those couple of bad reviews on Google, actually, I have stats somewhere. Let me just bring it up. They may be out of date, these stats, but it is just go pull up my Canva. I don't know about if you know this, but this might interest you. All right, here we go. That's the go. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen actually on this one. Screen. All right, so check this out. So it's just a little proposal that I create. It's just a template proposal that I use when I'm pitching agency services and the whole full enchilada and sell people on the subscription and sell the profit roadmap as well. But there's one slide I want to show you related to this. That's the pitch. Like, hey, Mr. Customer, we'll help streamline your management of your reputation, right? Why it matters. We lost it. There you go. Why it matters. Well, 74% of people are likely to leave a review if they know it's a family business. Hang on, let's go to the one that's bad. 94% will avoid your business due to a bad review. All right. Again, these are stats that I put in there. It's been a while. I can't remember where I got them from. I definitely didn't just write it in. I definitely got it like a reliable source, but that's what it says. And yeah, so this one, 86% of potential customers will hesitate to purchase from a business that has a negative review. 2 out of 10 consumers are driven away by just one negative. Oh, that's the one I was going to, say. 20%. 2 out of 10. Just one bad negative review. So you might have 100 good ones, one bad.
I hear that. It's a lot of people though are ranked, number one with a bunch of bad reviews because there's always going to be someone that's going to leave it.
Yeah.
And
that's
sometimes
what
it's like impossible to. But here's the thing too. What's interesting is on Amazon, people always go to the bad reviews first when they're buying a product because every product on Amazon has bad reviews. There's always somebody complaining, whether it's someone making them up or an actual complaint. Yeah. And with a lot of them, if you just see that it's like something that's generic, like, oh, it didn't ship on time.
Exactly. You disregard those.
Yeah. So I agree. In a perfect world, yes, but there's always going to be some dickhead that's going to leave over. You know what I mean? It's inevitable. And again, you can get rid of it, but people try to do the whole review gating thing and they try kind of sketchy ways. And it's just.
So let's talk about referrals then, and so that's the next, logical sense. If you can get your customers to give you good reviews, why would you stop there, right? They just give you a 5-star review. They're a raving fan. They love it. Who's going to be more likely to like spread the word and like send their mates over to you, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's like where a lot of small businesses, they miss out on that. It's like, yeah, my customers love it and we get reviews. Okay, great. But there's also customers that love you, but they also have busy lives. And so they just need a little nudge.
Yes.
And just ask, hey, would you know anybody? So if you can automate that based on a trigger that you've received, and now you can actually do that. There's a trigger for Google review received. It wasn't there before, so you had to use like Zapier and whatnot. But now you get it.
It only pulls the name though.
Huh?
It only pulls the name.
That is true.
The reason being is we'll continue what you're saying. We'll breathe it up. I just had a conversation with GoHighLevel support because it tanked for me, but continue though.
Yeah. No, that is true. You still have to manually do that, but at least you got something that you can work with. But the point being, the trigger thing aside, the point being is that now you can streamline that process too, and they can start giving you reviews. So if you can do that, now you're growing business. So now you've secured your business. You're not losing that many people anymore. You might even be saving people that would have left you, and now you. And the idea is like, one customer turns into two turns into 4.
Compounds.
It looks really nice. Yeah, that's the ideal, right? So you can do that. Great. Well, if you got that going, like how else can you continue to grow the business without spending any money on ads or do any acquisition of new customers? How can you still grow your business without acquiring more customers? It's to increase customer lifetime value.
Make them worth more money.
Yeah. And that's module 5 of the profit roadmap system.
Wait, did you make the profit roadmap? You made it?
Yeah. Basically, I created snapshots. They are all individual snapshots, and they stack on top of each other. So install one, then you give the customer a bit of time to get used to using it and start to get a bit of start to benefit from that. Then you go around back, 4 weeks later and say, hey, Mr. Customer, I think you're ready for the next one. Would you like us to install the next one and set it up for you? And it's XYZ fixed figure. So basically, long story short, and I didn't mean to turn it into a product.
No, it's your podcast, bro.
The long story short is I've looked at, what every business needs. And so it's managing reputation, get referrals, increase lifetime value, have lead nurture sequences, have lead capture ways, have, sales funnels, sales pages, all like the whole enchilada, audience and like ads and sales optimizing and then like lead score, like the whole thing. If every business had that, every business would do so much better. But as I was like planning to develop something like that, I realized it'd be massive, and if I was to then offer it to a business, it's too much to talk about. And I would have to charge them a lot of money to set it up for them. It creates a lot of friction. And also indoctrination aspect and them getting to learn how to operate it, right? Because they still need to learn how to operate the CRM within the, alongside the automation. So I realized, what, let's just break it down and create like modules. And then you just do one small module, and each one of these modules, it's going to make their business more profitable. And if you can do it in a way where the custom values are shared across the snapshots, nothing is done twice, everything sort of stacks on top of each other, then you've got pieces of a puzzle. And so you install one, so you get them on a subscription, and then you sell them onto the profit roadmap. And then you might even do what I do, which is the first module is always free for all my customers, because why wouldn't you give them something to be successful already?
Lead money,
right? But then as soon as they succeed, and then you sell them the next one. And because it's productized, you know exactly like how much does it cost you in time to fulfill, so you can have a fixed figure rather than saying, okay, let's have a discovery call, let's find out more so we can quote you. Again, creates friction. Now it's productized, you know the figure, and you just send them off to a page and they just purchase order, and then you install and set up.
And is this for service-based businesses?
It's niche agnostic. I build it on purpose to be niche agnostic, so you can use it for any industry.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you still need to set it up, customize it a little bit, but it gets you 90% there.
That's smart. Having all the snapshots plugged in, that's smart.
You like it, yeah?
Yeah. It's a good to have something that's, I don't know how to say it. No, I don't say systematized, that words get thrown around too much. But having a way where it's step 1, step 2, step 3, I don't say gamify either, but that same kind of concept. A roadmap. You go through it and then you get it. Because oftentimes, if it's everything at once without steps or without something basic, people get lost in the weeds. So that's what I see all the time. So, but it's smart. Yeah. It's smart.
Here's something interesting for you guys listening. If this is like got your interest, I'm not just like, hey, this is something I build and I'm just bragging. I build it for my own agency and boo-hoo, too bad for you. You don't have it. I do have it for other agencies available. So I do license it out. Other agencies can purchase the modules to be able to then have them for their own customers. So you can then install it into as many sub-accounts of yours. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, you just head over to my website, vitmiller.com, and there's a section you can learn about the profit roadmap. There's a section you can learn about the snapshots and things like that. And it's pretty comprehensive.
A demo video? Vit?
Every single sales page has a demo video. Every single sales page outlines how it's documented, what it comes with. So it's pretty comprehensive. That's one thing that I've been known for. I go a bit nuts with the documentation. It's done through ClickUp, and I've documented every single asset, every single technical asset, every single tag, every single custom value, and I've intertwined the pages. So let's say you've got one snapshot SaaS agency system. It's got like 900 pages or something, and you want to learn about this particular tag and what's the purpose of the tag, what does it do, and then you click on it. It tells you what does it do, but it also tells you which automations, control the tag, which automations remove it, which automations add it. So, the whole idea here is that if you purchase a snapshot, you should be able to understand how it operates, right? So that way that's the only way how you be then able to troubleshoot things if something went wrong during your setup. And, at the bare minimum, you should have a blueprint on how to set it up, but you also want to have a technical specs and things. So it's not sexy. It's not, not everybody likes to do this. It's a bit boring to do the documentation because it just takes so much time. But I realize, like if I'm going to be selling the snapshots, I want to put like good name behind it and have, have agencies be happy with what they purchase. So that's what I've done.
Yeah, I'm on the website right now. I'm looking at it.
This is kind of like, hi guys, like this is how you turn the podcast into like a sales call.
I know. Well, I just wanted to see what it was like, so I'm on your website looking at it.
Yeah. Definitely check it out. By the way, I do have an affiliate program, so that might be something that we'll talk about later. But let's go back to the podcast. A couple more questions, mate. Can you share a success story from one of your clients, like agency clients, that particularly stands out, where your guidance significantly impacted their business growth?
Oh yeah. So I got a lot. You can even connect some of the video testimonials. I have actual videos of them. But so let me think. I'll pick a couple. So first, I would say Brent. He's a guy that I worked with a couple years ago. When he came to me, he basically had no clients, no experience. He was a full-time like corporate job guy, very busy, absolutely just work was just a ton. He had, I think, 5 kids, a wife. I mean, this guy was booked. And he came to me wanting to start an agency. I showed him how to do high level. I gave him my prospecting roadmap to get clients, which I personally believe is the best out there. And within about a year plus, he was at about 15 to 17K a month.
Wow.
Yeah, and I
Very
have a video
nice.
testimonial on it, and he's a boss. I have Eric too, who's gone way beyond that. He's at like 30K. I have a lot of different people from different realms, and it's been insane. It's actually funny that you bring this up because I actually just got 2 students from Australia that joined my program from YouTube, and they've been awesome. This one guy he just attacks everything, and I'm gonna be doing a video testimonial with him probably in the next couple of months because he has blown me away. So, I mean, I'd rather not talk about this. I'd rather just show people real testimonials to show them the proof. Because I could go on all day about all these different people, but I will say that I've had some pretty good case studies. And what's funny that I always say that is that I see people that I will immediately be like, I don't think this person has it, and
Mhm.
they'll shock me. And
Yeah, right.
oftentimes I'll see someone that I think would make it, and they don't. It's like the opposite. It's really weird.
And so let's talk about your YouTube channel for a bit. So obviously these testimonials, people can check them out on the YouTube. With your YouTube strategy, I mean, I can tell you're passionate about educating and helping people. Do you just do like how-to videos, or do you do any type of other type of videos that help you grow the channel?
I really just do how-to videos. Everything go high level. I know people start to dip into other things. Right now, I want to keep it exclusively just on high level. I don't want to mix anything else in.
So
Just
how-to videos for high level. Okay.
yep.
But what about strategic videos for high level for agencies? Do you do those?
That comes in my free community, which basically you have to be affiliate of mine or underneath a partnership with me. And that basically goes in depth on how to get clients, upsell clients. I mean, it's the full 9 yards plus live streams, access to me. And that's
Mhm.
really where I think the most important part of all this is and where the focus needs to be is on just getting the clients when you first start out too. I'm gonna get like you said, keeping clients is important too, but just a lot of people they've done this and they've never made a dollar online. They
Yeah.
bought in courses for 10K. They've never made anything. So it's like, come to me and you'll make your first dollar for sure.
Yeah. I love it. Couple of rapid fire questions for you related to high level software as it is. So, what about high level originally grabbed your attention? Was there a specific problem, specific feature sorry, was there something specific or a problem you were trying to solve?
For high level, it's just the all in one platform. I was using Bright Local, WordPress, all these things. It was killing me. Just everything in one place. It's so much better.
No
And
more
the
duct taping.
snapshot. Yeah, yeah. No more, no more duct taping. No more duct taping.
Awesome. Is there any new high level feature that you are like really excited about, and why?
AI
If
voice, man. AI voice. It's
was
so
AI.
cool.
Yes.
No, yeah, voice. I always get it backwards. Yeah, that's insane. The chatbots are always cool. Honestly, what they've been doing with social media and conversations too. The fact that you can have multiple book accounts attached to a sub account. I mean, that's heaven for a hair salon. So I would say that's what I'm super jazzed about.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that's really good, especially if they're like franchise. But is there a limit, by the way? How many
I
can
don't
you have?
know. I don't know. I need to check. I do need to check, but
Yeah.
I there's probably some limit, but I don't need that many. But
But there's like when you look at like an averages, like there are businesses that have multi locations. They typically have maybe like on average like up to 10 locations, and then you've got the big ones. Those may need different setup. But if they have
yeah,
like a couple of locations, that's genius. Yeah. If you could give one piece of advice to a new high level user to make their life easier when adopting and using high level, what would that be?
oh, that's such a good question. Again, like you said in the beginning, learn contacts first and how all of that works, just so you can then use everything else in tandem and understand the flow. And then get a client as soon as possible, whether that's free or paid. Just actually do the thing. Don't
Yeah.
just watch videos. Actually get your hands on the software and actually play with it. It's the only way you'll really learn it.
Yeah, you can use the student approach to say, be transparent, right? Hey, I'm a student of this new platform. I would love to get you in and see how I can help your business grow. Would you allow me to have that opportunity
Yep.
for free, right? And
Yeah, I
there's,
recommend that.
it's, yeah. Hey, on this podcast, we have a segment called The Beef. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
No? I need to do a better job in my marketing then. It's a segment that, in this segment, we focus on like constructive feedback about high level features it's the goal is to improve the platform and get more upvotes on the ideas board. Are there any challenges or frustrations you face with high level recently that you'd like to talk about? You have to be specific about a particular feature though.
Give me just 5 seconds to think about it because there's so many things.
And ideally, it's something that you already posted on the idea board. Because what we do is we then put a link for your idea into the show notes. Other people can upvote.
I would love that. I'll tell you right now, the calendars on GoHighLevel need to have the same self checkout function as and tipping function as Square. Right now, the high level calendars very much like you try to check someone out in person, it's retarded. I mean, you're better off doing it for free. It's so many other things. It makes it very difficult. If they could match Square, that would be the most powerful calendar system of all time because they have everything else. They have everything else.
Can you explain it? What's the experience on Square? Because I haven't seen it.
Square, and this is the one thing where it's going to be hard for high level to compete because Square is exclusively booking and payment processors. It's their bread and butter. You know what I mean? It's like ClickFunnels only does funnels. Like they're really good at that experience. So with a GoHighLevel calendar, you have a kind of a weird looking calendar in Lead Connector, and it all has to be done via like they have to pay, and it's an appointment booked, and that's it.
Right, they have to pay in order to book the appointment.
Yes, but you technically could do it in person, but you would have to send an invoice. You would have to click the contact. In Square, you just pull it up. It has the exact person on the calendar pop up right there, and I can literally create a loom on this to show you. You just click, yes, there's an option to tip. You can rebook everything right there. It's 3 clicks and they're done.
So you mark them as showed and you request the payment in person, they pay.
So much easier. It's my one beef with high levels calendars is that for a hair salon or a barbershop, it's so many extra steps. And again, I've talked to them about this. If they can get that fixed, a game changer. It would change.
Okay, so from what I'm understanding, I would probably look at it more like this is more of a feature add-on, more of a feature enhancement because the functionality is not there yet. So it's only frustration would I would say be like some things that's already there and it's just not working. This is more of a feature enhancement, but nevertheless, it's a great idea. Yeah, it's a great idea. And so I think it deserves more upvotes. Have you put it on ideas board?
I have not. I've only talked to the people at the GoHighLevel Summit about it.
Okay.
I talked to the whole dev team. I do need to put it on the board though.
Yeah. So guys, like the ideas board, it's super critical because I mean, HighLevel has like 700-800 developers and that's how they decide on, what goes onto their roadmap and how they prioritize things. So I'm not schooling you on this. I'm just, in general, I'm just saying to everybody here listening, you know what I mean? So for you, Declan, if you could put it on the ideas board and send me the link, I'll put it in the show notes. You guys, I mean, I agree with this. It's a great idea. I would love that, especially for service-based businesses. One of my skill sets when I was in the fitness industry, I was also a sports massage therapist. So I would do personal training, sports massage. At the end of the day, if somebody comes in for a massage, you want to have that easy, point of sale mechanism. So that, I mean, I can definitely see that really, really good use case for that. Now, for the rest of you guys listening, if you have an idea or suggestion for an enhancement or brand new feature or feature that's frustrating you about maybe the UI, the user experience of it or whatever, please put it on the ideas board. One thing about the ideas board, the way you get upvotes is there's an email that HighLevel sends out to everybody when there's new ideas being submitted. It's a long email. You may have missed it. And, I don't know how many people interact with that email or go through that long list of new idea submissions. But that is the only way I know, as far as I know, that you can learn about new ideas. The only other way is if you literally go to the ideas.GoHighLevel website itself and search through yourself. So the likelihood of your idea being found is not that great. And you cannot promote your ideas in the community, in the Facebook, because they shut down your post. It's against the rules of the group. Otherwise, everybody would just be posting those, right? It makes sense. And so that's where the beef idea came on this podcast, to have that opportunity for you guys to get light on your idea and get more output. So if you do have an idea, and the rule is you have to record a voice memo of you sharing, explaining the idea, and you just submit it through my website. So you just head over to HighLevelExperience.com. You can learn about how to submit your brief, and we'll feature it in the next episode.
Awesome.
Now, we also have another segment called 3 Under 3. So it's a segment called 3 Under 3 where we share 3 impactful stories in under 3 minutes. 60 seconds is all you get as an agency owner, SaaSpreneur, to share an impactful story of how you helped a local business with a solution that you've implemented in their sub-account and what the underlying outcome for that business was. Not just in terms of revenue, but how it impacted them as the business owner. So you've shared one, which was an agency owner. Do you have another one that you'd like to share, Declan? Maybe on the local businesses side.
I'll do a law firm. I helped a law firm 4x their revenue. Okay. And from that, basically take away a lot of their work. Simple, basic stuff, they were creating videos, they were doing stuff with local SEO, social media, took all that away, automated it. They saved a bunch of time. And again, 4x their revenue.
Wow.
And I have actually a testimonial on that too on the Metronaut website.
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, really, we're able to go in and just get the leads flowing and just make it so simple. It wasn't a ton of complicated stuff. It was just very simple. And again, you can see the
how did you automate the videos though? I'm curious. The video part. How did you automate that?
I didn't automate the videos for them. They just were doing videos before. So I took it away from them. So they were spending all this time doing stuff, took it away from them, and then did it. And then basically, scheduled posts and all that shit.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, lawyers make so much more per hour consulting and lawyer stuff than this. Yes, it makes perfect sense. Awesome. I don't have a third one to plug in for this episode, guys, because I didn't get any submissions. But if you're listening and would love to submit your impactful story, same thing. Head over to HighLevelExperience.com where you can submit it. Love to have more stories and give you opportunity to get a shout out. And you just say the instructions are on the website, but basically you just say your name, the agency name, who you help, how you help, what impact it had. Would really appreciate those. Awesome. All right, Declan, we are at the end of our journey. I've got one final question. Actually, 2 final questions. One is a tricky one. You ready?
Oh, let's hear it.
Tell me something that's true that almost nobody agrees with you on.
Wait, say that again? Say that again.
Tell me something that's true that almost nobody agrees with you on.
Wait, that's a really trippy question. Do you mean like a personal thing, or do you mean like a fact, or
what you believe is true?
Something that I believe. Okay. Oh, this is real. That's a really good question. Something that I believe that no one would agree with me on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one that no one would. That's a really, I don't know. I'm really thinking that's really good. I really can't, because there's some that are like some people agree with. Does it have to be like no one or just the vast majority?
Vast majority. Let's go with that. Hey, no is also an answer. You could say I don't know.
Maybe I don't. I'm really thinking. This is a really entertaining question. It really is. Probably something to do with sports. Probably sports.
Something to do with MMA?
Not MMA.
I was actually going to ask you on that, by the way. I was going to ask you what
Jones is not the GOAT. That's something that very few people would agree with. I don't think he is. I think Dana White has given him fights that are easy. Mm-hmm. He beats up retired people. He's good. I mean, a lot of people will swear on that. He's not that good. I mean, he is. He's a great, but he's...
Yeah. I haven't been following UFC lately, so I can't comment on that. But I do love UFC. It's interesting what's happening to Conor. He's pretty much losing it all.
Bro, he's just too much cocaine, man. Too much cocaine.
Now, speaking of MMA, you did a fight, didn't you?
Yep. One amateur fight, and then a couple amateur boxing fights, and some jiu-jitsu matches.
And then you stopped pursuing that career? Was that a reason, or you just wanted to have a crack at it just for those?
I do it for fun. I was never trying to go pro. I like, it's just fun to me.
Yeah.
I still do it, but I made some spaces that if you get hit in the head a lot, it starts to wear on you, bro. Like, no, I'm serious. I would do these when I was preparing for some of my fights. I would do these hard sparring sessions, either in kickboxing or just boxing. And I remember I would get hit in the head so many times because even if I was, doing head movement, I would get hit so many times that I would come home and I would literally have trouble like remembering my phone password. Like I was just like slow. And I
Just
realized I was like,
swollen. Yeah, brain gets swollen. It's
bro,
yeah.
I couldn't. I mean, I was trying to do tech stuff, and I'm like becoming retarded. Like I can't
Yeah.
do that. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's a great time, man. Trust me, it's so fun. But
It
it's
is
just
very much fun. I love training. I've been to visit mate of mine in Berlin, and we did 4-day camp of Krav Maga. Just you know,
ah,
4 of us, 4 mates, and we had 2 instructors looking after us, and
that's
we did
awesome.
4 to 5 hours every day, and
Oh,
then just eat
jeez.
steaks and just have fun. So I do remember. I mean, the body aside, like that's just muscles and tissue. That's sore, whatever. But the swollenness and like the like bit of a daze, like in your brains, like yeah, it's not fun.
Oh,
All right. Anything that you'd like to like after this episode, we're done, right? It's an hour. We've talked for an hour and 30 minutes, and you guys are listening. Declan, like if there was something that you'd like the listener of this podcast to walk away with after listening today, what would that be? Like one thing that you in particularly want them to remember.
my YouTube channel is going to be the biggest and the best in 2 years for Go High Level. I promise, 100%. Because again, I'm straight to the point, and I'm just putting everything on YouTube. And with AI coming, with that's going to change everything. It's only going to get better.
I love it.
Like,
Bold
that's what I would
statement.
say.
I
Yeah,
like
hey,
it.
hey,
I like it.
you got to speak it into reality, man.
Yeah. All right. I mean, what's the channel?
Go High Level Wizard.
Go High
Just
Level
Go
Wizard.
High Level
That's
Wizard.
it.
As you see right here, Go High Level Wizard. Go subscribe. Seriously, you'll love it. And if you can get into the partnership, you'll also love that, especially if you are, a beginner or mid-sized agency. It's just perfect for you.
Excellent. Awesome. And with that, let's wrap it up. Declan, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your experiences. It means a lot to everybody listening. And those of you guys listening, thank you so much for listening to today's episode on HighLevel Experience. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please share it with other fellow agency mates and other high levelers that you think would also benefit from listening. For show notes, links, and extra tips to help you grow your agency or your SaaS with HighLevel, please go to highlevelexperience.com. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day, everybody.